I'm Rikki Sawyer Wernquist. I graduated SCA in 2010. I went here from K4 through 12th grade. I then went to Anderson University and got my degree in elementary and early childhood education. I'm currently doing my master's at Grand Canyon University for reading education. I taught my first year at Hendrix, and then I moved over to Spartanburg Christian my second year teaching, and this is my fourth year here. When I was in second grade here, right down the hall from my current classroom, I told my teacher, and I'm pretty sure everybody that went to SCA and worked at SCA, that I wanted to be a teacher, and one day I was going to teach at SCA. My second grade teacher thought that was really awesome, and I even dressed up as her for career day. Since I was a student here, a lot has changed. The class sizes are different. There are different teachers, obviously, because I'm a teacher and I didn't teach myself. But a lot has changed in curriculum, in population of the school. There are a lot of different students here, which is wonderful. Our classes look different. The classes that are offered in high school and middle school have changed a little bit. Some of the classes that are offered now, I wish I could have taken when I was in high school. When I was in sixth grade, I started playing sports here. My first sport was volleyball, and then I went on to basketball, and I played soccer in my sixth grade year. I then moved on to playing softball and later bowling. When I had graduated and started teaching at Hendrix, I was coming up to walk the track occasionally, and Coach Fain saw me and asked me how I felt about coaching volleyball. It had always been my plan to hope to coach volleyball one day. I didn't know where. And when she asked me, I was super excited to coach, and so I started coaching middle school. I was the assistant for 2 years, and then I became the head coach, and it's been so much fun. I've also coached bowling and softball 2 different times, and soccer for a couple of years as well. One thing I think that SCA is determined to do is to make our students love to learn and to be better people in the future. One of the focuses that we do in our classroom, in my second grade classroom, is all about kindness and how we need to show God's kindness to our friends and to everyone around us. We talk about being kind to the earth with Earth Day just recently passed. We've talked about how we can recycle. We've also, with Valentine's Day, talked about how we need to show God's love to our friends. And we talk about what God's love looks like just in our everyday lives. So when I was a student at SCA, one of the biggest things in my life was I was able to learn the Bible. I memorized Bible verses every week from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, sometimes chapters. Thank you, Mr. Faulkner. And when I got to come back here, I was so excited to get to teach Bible to my students. Second grade is all about Moses, which is one of the coolest stories in the Bible. We talk about the parting of the Red Sea and just how amazing God is in delivering his people from slavery. When I get to pour back into my students, and it really grows me spiritually, just getting to pour into them and teach them about the Bible, and it challenges me to love the Lord and to continue in my devotion to him, because that's what I teach my students to do. One of my jobs here at SCA is also being the technology coordinator. I think they chose me because I'm the youngest person on staff, but I love technology and how we can use it in our classroom. One of the biggest things that Miss Line and I did a couple of years ago was get tablets into the 1st through 4th grade's hands. We had a set of tablets to share. For these students, we picked a day of the week that we would use our tablets for. One of the ways that I use it in my classroom is with Seesaw, which is a way to connect the classroom to the parents. They can take pictures of their writing. They can share different activities. We've even shown them math problems and explained it to our parents on Seesaw. So being able to use these tablets in our classroom has been a huge thing just to connect with our parents. In middle and high school, they're able to use technology because we need to be technology literate in our society. Computers are everyday life, and so we need to teach our students how to use computers, and the ways that we get to use them to enhance our learning is really important. And so as a technology coordinator, I've been able to help my colleagues learn about Google and all the different things that they can do with technology to help their students learn better. One of the best things about SCA that they do well is the relationships. And so I remember having a great relationships with not only my friends, but with my teachers. Some of my favorite teachers I still get to interact with daily because I work with them now. So one of the biggest things that I do in my classroom is I try and build that relationship with them, and I want to love them and make them feel loved and know that they can come and tell me about anything. And I have students from years past that still come back and hug me and tell me about different things in their lives. Some of them, one of them was actually even in my wedding. And it's just amazing to build relationships with my students, because that's how I was taught at SCA. I was able to have relationships with my teachers, and they showed me that it was important to build that relationship.